Test. Cool. All right, everybody. Let's see if I got these hotkeys right. Hey, cool. Ben screwed around with the hotkeys a little bit, so now they won't. We can type messages without changing the camera a million times. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Joy of Pancakes stream. I'm Dan from Dan Cakes. We are professional pancake artists based in St. Louis, Missouri, and a couple times a week we do these streams where I start making some pancake art and take all freaking day on it, and you can watch the process. We already got we got a bunch of people in the chat, which is fantastic. A lot of folks over on YouTube. That's really great. Let's see. Horizon Eclipse, no context. Make a lyrical lemonade cartoon. Starla Terry. Hi, Starla. Maya. Misty, good to see you. Excuse me. Fantastic. All right. Welcome to the stream, everybody. So for those of you that don't know, generally when I do these streams, I like to start with, sometimes I'll have an idea of what I want to make first and I'll just get started on it, but today I want to take some prompts from the chat. A lyrical lemonade cartoon? Horizon Eclipse has a little suggestion there. I'm not really sure where to go with that. But, yeah. What do you think, Hank? What do you think I should make? Hank's over here.
I know one thing you should make.
What should I make? A celebrity's face? Which celebrity?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. You think I should start with a Harry Styles pancake today?
Yeah.
I got all the colors for it.
But I would want to film it.
Okay.
Overhead.
Right on. You got the hard drive? I could start with a different design then.
I mean, they know we're talking about Harry Styles.
He's a very famous boy.
Over the weekend.
Misty and Maya are asking how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty okay right now. Just got here, got all the batter mixed up and everything, and I'm feeling pretty happy. Hey, glad you haven't died yet, Anna. Ancient rituals. That's an interesting suggestion. I like that idea. So, let me see here. Ancient rituals. I'm gonna just Google that and see what kind of things. Once I get started on something. Yeah. Ancient rituals. Wow. Really cool stuff. Anything jumping out at me here? Nothing in particular. A lot of really crazy, elaborate oil paintings and stuff. Ancient ritual. Something spooky for Halloween. Cthulhu. Those are all good suggestions. Yeah. Cthulhu, Ancient Ritual, and Halloween all kind of go together. So I think I might do something with that. Eldritch horror. Let's see. Oh, that is actually a board game.
Oh, really?
Let me just say Eldritch Abomination. That's the... Yeah, there we go. That's like Emrakul. I love that stuff. Just the idea of like a 4-dimensional super entity. Yeah, maybe I'll do Emrakul. For those of you that don't know, Emrakul is an entity from Magic the Gathering. Surreal. It's an Eldrazi. Yeah, maybe I'll give that a shot. Get some of those nerds, those Magic the Gathering nerds. They'll love it. I am a Magic the Gathering nerd. Let's pop this open. Honestly, I should probably pull it up on this thing. Get this iPad over here. Safari. Let me look up Emrakul. This will be a little bit more. Starla, totally understand. We appreciate you hanging out, and I hope that you enjoy the stream.
Do you get to Facebook?
Yes, but we've been having all... I don't even know if Facebook is showing right now because we have all kinds of issues. Yeah, I don't know if there's something wrong with the Facebook chat, if they changed it or something, but... And we're cool. Alright, we're going to go to the overhead, and I'm going to start drawing a design here. This is the image that I've selected, that I'm going to use as sort of a reference image here. This is actually a card from Magic the Gathering, but so Emrakul is this gigantic 4-dimensional eldritch entity. It's very in the vein of Cthulhu and Lovecraftian horror and stuff like that. So I'm going to get started on this. I'm probably going to have to simplify it a lot because, as you can see, this is an enormous, elaborate picture. A lot of different colors and stuff going on there. I see there's a lot of like white highlights, but also a lot of like dark lines and outlines and stuff like that. So we'll have fun with it. We'll have fun with it, and I'll try not to worry too much about perfection because I never do. So a little reference image there. I'm going to start with white, and I'm going to start with the highlights on the top left edge. These like mountain embodiment. So we're going live on TikTok right now, so folks can see the beginning. Tell me when. Are we there, Hank? Got some people filtered in there. Emrakul, the Aeon's torn. Don't know how good it'll turn out, but you know, never do.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Ben's here.
I'm gonna throw in the TikTok link to YouTube because we're gonna just be live here a little bit. How's everybody doing? Feel free to ask questions on TikTok if you want.
We are all ears.
Let's go have dinner soon. Definitely across the ocean.
A lot of these strange ridges here. Emrakul's body. Strange.
Yeah, you can watch the stream on we got YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Periscope. Because I'm not gonna hold this phone the whole time.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. But so anyone who isn't familiar with what we're doing here, this is obviously pancake art, but it's being done on a stream. We do 3 to 4 times a week, and it's basically just, it's called Joy of Pancakes, and it's basically just kind of winging it as far as, hey, you guys comment, and if it clicks with the artist, like, oh, cool, that sounds cool, we'll make it. And a lot of these, actually almost all these, we preserve.
Yeah, because I usually take a long time on each
the ones
piece.
you see behind there.
Yeah. We try to slow these down so that they're a little bit more detailed and more interesting.
But see all these colors. If you guys, I know you guys had questions in the comments of past videos. This is all just pancake batter with food coloring gel. Pretty much any color is sold that you want, and the artist will make different shades based on what they're drawing, or they'll just have a standard palette that they use when doing highly detailed pancakes. But a lot of the time, if you guys ever want to do this, you can just start with simple colors like these brown tones, which, you know, you got 3 of those, you can create most things. Or you could go nuts like this. We do sell we sell a pretty basic color kit that you could get. How you doing, Maya? I'm doing good.
Oh, and Leo's hollering at you there.
Oh yeah, I haven't even had a chance to hop on my email.
He hasn't had a chance to hop on his email yet, but we did see your emails come in, because that's how I got the Thundercats logo the other day. Leo was in our request stream yesterday and gave us a very generous donation for the heads of the Thundercats, and followed up with an email to have us preserve it. So pretty excited about that. Shout out to Leo for supporting independent artists.
Right, it's great. It's been a busy morning.
Yeah, I'm shipping a lot of stuff.
Shipped out 90 pancake art kits for an event we have Friday, which is
pretty
probably
exciting.
our biggest order.
Yeah.
And we learned, there is a place you can drop it all off at the U.S. Post Office, because I had to go to like 3 different post offices to not overwhelm them. But guys, if you want to comment on TikTok of ideas for what Dan can do today, you're welcome to do that over here. Again, I'm not going to stay on too much longer here, but I will throw the link to the YouTube.
I'd love to see y'all. I'm hanging out.
You guys are welcome to ask questions, ask technique questions.
We've got some really awesome people in the chat. It's we play ambient music on the stream.
Yeah, this is how
it's very chill out and relaxing.
It's got our 4 cameras here. Right now, these are set up on tripods because I just built this wall, which replaced the door. But yeah, the overhead. There's one over his shoulder, so it rotates through those angles. Hi from Rhode Island. Love your work.
Hey, how you doing, Rhode Island?
Luna Ria 91. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
You guys are familiar a little bit. If you come out of the basement and more into the dining room, Magic the Gathering and D&D related stuff, this is a crazy card from that, of course Dan's tackling.
I always bite off more than I can chew.
But it looks like he's got enough colors to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also this is our studio. I know handheld, so I can show a little more of it. Again, this wall I just put in. I just finished putting the drywall. Got to sand and paint soon, probably tomorrow. There's our preserved pancakes, all for sale on our website. And any little videos you usually see us post on TikTok, those pancakes are usually for sale. I know several have sold that we posted on them. And yeah, this is just one room in our pancake studio. This is the lights, camera, action room. But yeah, pancake art is not that complicated as far as equipment.
It's one of the cheapest mediums you can get into.
Right, and you can create artwork like this, and having figured out how to preserve it makes it even more arty.
And it's very rewarding for us.
Right, because otherwise these are edible, these can be eaten, but putting half an hour or more into a pancake and eat it. Not exactly.
You'd probably have to hop over to TikTok if you wanted to see the dogs, because we can't move the cameras on this stream.
The dogs aren't in the studio.
Yeah, they're elsewhere.
It's raining here in Missouri, so my dog is inside chilling. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go do some work. Leo, I'm gonna get back to you here soon. If you can hear me over the stream. But I'm gonna throw the link to our YouTube if you guys want to join. Thanks, Vegas Golden Knight Fangirl. So cool. Angel Scott, thank you. But yeah, let me see how I do this. I think I just commented right here. Yeah. All right, so link in the comment. If that for some reason doesn't direct you to it, I'm not sure how links work in comments on TikTok. All you do is type in Pancakes on YouTube, and you'll see the live video. Or you could go on Facebook and Twitch. But yeah, guys, hop over there, say hi to Dan. You'll see 4K camera angles, probably in 1080. And you can watch the creation of this one and some other ones he's going to be doing.
Talking about doing Harry Styles next.
2 or so hours.
Thanks for doing that, Hank. Strange alien phalanges here.
If you want to, are you black?
What do we got in the chat here? Hey, Military Avengers Vamp Elf. It's VGK Fangirl from TikTok. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate that. Misty, Dan, can you tell some inspiring stories for folks in the chat? Inspiring stories. I wonder what counts as an inspiring story. What do you mean? Just like of people I know? There's lots of inspiring stories out there. It's always manage to ask the questions that I draw a blank on. There once was a man from Nantucket. His pancakes were grand. He said, tuck it. I don't know. I could talk about Magic the Gathering and how it has inspired me. I never played this game as a kid. It was only recently, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, that my business partner, Alex, is a business partner in my board game company, Tetra Entertainment, not in Dan Cakes. But Alex really wanted me to get into Magic the Gathering because he knew I had designed a board game and thought that I would enjoy it. But the thing about Magic the Gathering is if you don't know how to play it, it's got a pretty high barrier to entry, you know, like you have to, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a very elaborate, involved game. You gotta learn how to build decks and all these kinds of nonsense things. Things that if you don't have anybody else around you being like, hey, we should play this together, it's really hard for me to motivate myself to do that. But he actually took the time to build me a deck and give it to me as a birthday gift. And then we started to play. And I found out real quickly that there's a reason why this game is as successful and as renowned as it is. It is there's a lot going on for it. It's got a lot going on as far as any game is concerned. And it's very rewarding on a lot of different levels that I didn't necessarily expect. There's a lot of strategy to it. There's a lot of it really helps to have a lot of mental presence when you're playing the game, so that you can make sure that you make the most efficient use of all the cards you have and the resources and yada yada yada. But because of that, there's a flow state you can get into when you play it, and I think flow is critical to any kind of gaming experience or work experience or anything. Like, flow is the key to human happiness. Being able to get into a groove. There's actually a book about it. I probably mentioned it on the stream before. It's called Flow. It's by a guy named Howl. Cannot spell that for the life of me. Just look up flow and type a bunch of M's or something, and it'll be like, oh, you mean this? Yeah, people are always looking for that book. I'm gonna close this door real quick because everybody in the other room is talking. It's distracting. Okay. They're all taking care of some stuff. Yes, I'm drawing Emrakul the Aeon's Torn from Magic the Gathering. This is the reference image I'm using. So it won't look identical because pancakes, but you know, do my best here. Little bottle of kombucha over here. I'm a hipster. But flow being the state of mind where you kind of disappear. You disappear into whatever task it is that you're doing. There's a guy who wanted to study human happiness and found that the people who most consistently reported the highest subjective sense of happiness at their job or in their work or in their hobbies were the people who, on a consistent basis, entered the state of mind called flow. And flow is a very interesting state of mind because you don't really notice it when you're in the state of mind. You notice it after you come out of it, right? I remember I used to tap into flow a lot when I worked at the diner. If we had a really good day and all the people that were working were, you know, competent, and you didn't have a lot of orders falling through the cracks and that sort of thing, I found that it was really easy for me to get into a super amazing groove on the griddle, kicking out all kinds of breakfast orders at high speed, and people sitting at the counter being like, wow, I've never seen anybody work the griddle that fast. And there's just this sense of pride and deep spiritual satisfaction that comes from flow. And Magic the Gathering, specifically because of its complexity, you can get into that state of mind. And I think it's really cool for a fantasy card game like this to enable such a thing. It's very... I definitely wasn't really expecting it. And more than that, what I've really enjoyed as I've learned about this game, there's a form of... And I mean, part of the reason I wax so poetic about this stuff is because I have designed a board game, and I am very... game design as a concept is something I'm very passionate about. I didn't realize that until I got into designing games, but it's really cool to see when a beautiful system comes together and enables people to have a very specific kind of fun. And one of the things I really admire about Magic's system is, in addition to the fact that it's just a solid game, there's also a high degree of expression, of emotional and artistic, creative expression that gets done through the act of building a deck, because they have so many different cards, and all the cards in the game interact with each other in different ways, and a big part of the experience isn't the actual playing of the game, it's the buying and assembling your deck. You decide what kind of a deck you want to build, you decide what kind of card you want to field, and how you're basically choosing a strategy for how you want to play the game. And not all strategies are created equally, but a lot of times you don't even care if your strategy is the best, because there is a lot of satisfaction in having a deck that's themed, right? Or having there's this sort of I don't care if this isn't the best card for my deck. It fits the deck's emotional expression a little bit. And so I'm just gonna throw that in there, even if it might reduce my chances of winning, because winning isn't always the point. Sometimes it's really fun to just like get a chance to play one crazy card, even if you lose the game. And as a game designer, I try really hard when I'm enjoying media, when I'm enjoying video games and card games and stuff like that, to be mindful of my own subjective experience with it, because it's kind of like research, right? It's like research and development. Like if I find a mechanic that I love, if there's something that happens in a game where I'm just like, whoa, that was crazy, or wow, that made me feel something, I try to remember it so that if and when I choose to continue developing my own games, I can do so even better because I had the chance to experience it in this particular context. I think most of the problems that the game of Magic the Gathering gets into aren't really with the game itself. There's a couple of mechanical things that I think are what I would call suboptimal, but they certainly don't ruin the game. I mean, what I think the big problem with Magic the Gathering is it's the company. Wizards of the Coast is extremely successful, but they're also a corporate hierarchy. Like they are owned, I believe they're owned by Hasbro. And anytime you have a corporate hierarchy like that, you inevitably will start to get some institutional decay in all the things you work on. And you start to see that the people who are manufacturing and producing the cards of a game they really only care about the quality of those cards insofar as people will continue to purchase them. And so you lose there's a love at the start of the process, right? Like when people first started tinkering with, I think the guy's name is Richard Garfield, I think, was the original designer of Magic the Gathering. But when people, start designing something, a game or a song or an album or anything like that, there's a different state of mind. There's like a beginner's mind where you know that down the road you'd like to make money from it, but that's not really the main reason you're doing it. You're doing it because you love the idea. You're doing it because you think, I would really like to see this thing and see what it can become. And so you push the envelope and you push it harder than you would if you were just working for a job. But if that then becomes successful and you expand your business and you grow and you change and you bring new people in so that you can make more money, and eventually over time that institutional decay starts to set in. And Magic the Gathering's been out for, I think, like almost 30 years. It's like somebody could have been born when it was made and now be my age. And anytime, I guess when you have a system that's there for that long, it's very, very easy for that kind of a system to fall into the pitfalls of, well, we do this for money now. We don't need to really, really love this. It's just, we can buy bigger cars and have nicer houses and support everything easier if we can make money off of this. So we're going to prioritize that. We have shareholders. Hasbro has shareholders and that sort of thing. And so you just start to go down this path where the focus is not on the art as much as it is on the money. Disney is really guilty of that too, right? Like for all the wonderful storytelling and things that Disney does, part of their whole process is sort of irredeemably corrupted by the fact that they don't really make things for the purposes of artistic expression. And as a result, I would say that almost all of their work suffers because it's incentivized in a weird way, and everything has a weird deadline, and the purpose of it becomes the, profit. That kind of soaks into everything. Really, these are the sorts of things I'm really passionate about because, I don't know, I feel like I was raised in a world that... What's up? Oh, gotcha. Oh, hard drive. Cool. Fantastic. All right, so I can make a Harry Styles pancake.
Yeah, Jean was gonna send me the picture she thinks is best. She is the
She is the Harry Styles expert. Okay.
When I mentioned Benny, she's like,
Okay. Will you close that, Hank? Cool. Sorry about that. By Sam. Something about capitalism, I'm sure. Oh, there's a little spider. What you doing, buddy? There's a teensy little spider right there. Just kind of dropping in. What are you doing? You gonna come over here? Wish you wouldn't. That's fine. That spider can stay there. Not hurting anything. Super tiny. Watch that be the thing that kills me. Anime STL, yeah. Jeremy confirms that Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro. Cynthia, hi Dan, miss having you at our Halloween and other parties. Yeah, your Halloween, all your parties were super fun. Didn't I came and you did, y'all did the Back to the Future party, right? I miss that. I miss the before times. I really like the concept of the Eldrazi, or eldritch abominations in general. Like H.P. Lovecraft's style of horror is very interesting. Guy had some problems. Can't really talk about H.P. Lovecraft anymore without talking about the fact that he had some issues, racism, homophobia, that kind of thing. But he has quite a legacy because I think there's the form of horror, the Lovecraftian eldritch horror, the idea of these enormous entities that were just so far beyond our comprehension that we were not even playthings to them. The idea of being that small and insignificant, it really touches something deep within the human psyche about our sense of self-importance in the universe and how maybe we aren't, right? Maybe we don't matter. And there's things out there that are so far above and beyond us that we can't even conceive of them. And the parts of them that we can conceive of are so monstrous and horrifying that they drive us insane just by looking at them. You know, like, it's a very interesting idea. It's a very interesting form of deep unease. I think what I really like about, well, the thing about eldritch horror, Lovecraftian style horror, is that it's hard to write well. And I'm only mentioning all this because that's what Emrakul, the thing I'm drawing, is supposed to be sort of this kind of, that's what the Eldrazi and what like things like Cthulhu are, is they're supposed to be like these titanic manifestations of beings, and yet the thing that you see, this massive, towering, monstrous, many-armed, tentacled thing is not even the fingertip of the true entity. The true entity that this is just the facade of is so massive and so beyond human comprehension that we're not even able to really wrap our heads around a single fingernail of that entity. I love that style of horror. It's very hard to pull off convincingly. I think a lot of people make mistakes. A lot of authors make mistakes when they're trying to write about the Eldrazi or about the, Cthulhu and stuff like that. Those sorts of beyond, like, unknowable evils. It's very hard to write an unknowable evil if you make the mistake of trying to explain them, because the whole point is that you can't. There's a very popular video game franchise that I played a lot when I was a teen and young adult, called Mass Effect. And Mass Effect is a very classic sci-fi setting. A bunch of different alien races coming together to work together in harmony, and the main antagonists of the series are these extra-dimensional, not even extra-dimensional, they're just there's super intelligent machine beings called Reapers. And I think that it's really, the first game in the series is great because the Reapers are super mysterious. And as you find out about like where they're coming from and what they're trying to do, there's this sense of like, holy crap. But as the series goes on, they like really, the Reapers almost turned into like cartoons in a sense, because by the end of the franchise, they were just, you just beat them by doing, you know, normal combat stuff. You could take them down, and, you know, it was just like, I feel like the people who made that game, the writers behind it, sort of wrote themselves into a corner. And it made it so that at the end of it, the way the plot resolved, the victory and all that, just kind of felt meh. And it was a shame because it was this super ambitious video game project. It took them years to release. It was a 3 video game installment, and they had the story and your character decisions and all that carry on from one to the next. And at the end of it, it was just kind of like, oh, it's kind of meh, huh, guys? I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Ji Chang, yes, an Eldrazi Magic Gathering card game. Misty asks, Dan, can you tell any fun stories from your childhood? Interesting question. Fun stories from my childhood. I think what it is about your questions, Misty, that always throws me for a loop is that you ask very specific and yet somewhat vague questions that I don't think about that often. And so there's not like a mental category in my brain. Like, I'm very used to answering pancake art questions, right? Like when people ask, how'd you get into this? I don't even have to think about that. I just, boop, this, that, and the other, because I've told that story so many times and to so many different people in so many different contexts and ways that it's second nature for me to just reply. But you'll ask something like, what's some fun childhood memory you have? And I'm like, That's a good question, my dude. What is a fun childhood? Mom! I call my mom real quick. Mom, what's a fun childhood memory I got? I like to think I had a nice childhood. I was very fortunate. Well, sort of. My parents got divorced when I was very, very young. And there was a lot of like pain and crying and stuff that went along with all the like divorce and the custody battles and all that stuff. And honestly, a lot of that probably kind of messed me up more than I care to admit. But aside from that, there were a lot of cool things that came as a result of the fact that my parents split up. And I'm glad they did, because they weren't happy. My mom wasn't happy, and if one person isn't happy, then chances are good that the other person's happiness, if they have any, is diluted. So I think it's best if people aren't happy to figure something out. And in my mom's case, it was getting a divorce. And so one of the wonderful things that came as a result of that is that my mom and my dad both remarried wonderful, loving, kind people. I was very blessed with good step-parents who were extremely supportive, and I have wonderful relationships with them to this day. But they also went different directions, and my dad was in the military, so I had a lot of opportunities to travel. After, when he got an opportunity to be stationed somewhere, right? Because that's what happens in the military, is you get moved around to different, bases, and he always wanted to pick the places that were like, where would it be good for my kids to see? And so he I ended up getting to see a lot of England. My dad lived in England for several years. I actually went to school in England when I was very young. I went to Beckrow Primary School in Suffolk, England. And that was really, really cool. Misty, I wasn't saying don't ask. You didn't hurt me. No, not at all. So you got me talking on something, and so that I really appreciate your comments. Don't get it twisted, my dude. we're good. I enjoy your comments. Yeah, Beckrow Primary School. In fact, I recently sort of revisited Beckrow Primary School on Google Maps. That was kind of a trip. It was very surreal. Saw the old path I used to take to get to school. Yeah, I'm gonna need some rich red for this, aren't I? Red and magenta. Yeah, lots of pinks and stuff. I should probably finish these one thing at a time because I'm getting a little overwhelmed with all these different tentacles and stuff. But yeah, as a result of my dad sort of intentionally choosing to go and do these, like particularly like going to places that he could have picked, you know, frickin' South Dakota and all that stuff, but he intentionally angled to try and go places like England and Germany. And as a result, my older brother and I had a lot of chances to see parts of the world we never would have been able to, or never would have had the time or currency or whatever, if it weren't for that. So I got to see a lot of like how other cultures lived, and I got to see other people's, you know, their diets and their infrastructure and the way their roads looked and all that stuff, and getting to see castles in England and castles in Germany, and getting to see just like other parts of the world, other ways of being. It's extremely valuable, and I'm really, really fortunate, I think, for the fact that my parents did that. My dad went out of his way to do that and make sure that we got to see those parts of the world, because there's no replacing it. It really broadens your perspective, you know. It really influences how you see things as you get older. You know, you can't get super xenophobic out of ignorance, because you just know better. You've seen other people, you've lived in other places, and you've experienced other ways of being. And so, you know, it just doesn't occur to you later in life to think any other way, because it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. I think that's helped me in more ways than I might even be able to articulate. Get some of that gray in there. I like that. A lot of complex colors going on. Getting on a flow here. Where's a place you visited that you thought, wow, that is really different from me? It's an interesting question. I think the place that I visited that was most culturally different from what I'm used to was probably Sharjah. Sharjah is one of the United Arab Emirates. And a few years back, Hank and I were invited to take part in a government climate forum in Sharjah. Al Gore was a speaker there, and we were just there to like entertain folks, right? To just make the pancake art and make people smile. And it was a very cool opportunity. The Government Communication Forum, I think that's what it was called. But I remember having like some legitimate culture shock from going to see like Dubai and Sharjah and seeing how that part of the world conducts their affairs, because there's a lot, I mean, it's a theocratic place, right? Like, so everybody that works in government is also working in religion, sort of. Like, I mean, it's part of the deal is everybody's wearing the religious garb, and Sharjah is like the Islamic cultural center of the world, from what I understand. There's this gorgeous museum. We did not have a chance to go to it because we weren't there for long enough and our jet lag was super bad. But, which I actually really quite regret. I always get sad when we go across the world and then don't have the time to do as much cool stuff as we want. But, you know, running a business, you don't always have that luxury. You gotta like, well, sorry, we gotta go back home and make a bunch of money because who knows when a pandemic's gonna hit, we're not gonna have any of that anymore. But yeah, Sharjah in particular stands out in my mind as a place that was just very different from what I'm used to. You know, like the way that the country is run. Dubai is a bit of an anomaly because Dubai is like super cosmopolitan, and they're very intentionally trying to make that place a tourist destination. They want people to come there and bring their money and move there and help build that gigantic economy. And you know, as a result, Dubai has more of a world city vibe. You know, like there's a lot. It feels more international. It feels like walking around, I wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb just being some giant white dude, because there's a bunch of fucking white dudes. Oh, excuse me. Hanging out and spending their money and just being in Dubai. But Sharjah is not quite the tourist destination. And so it's just a very different vibe from lots of the cities that I've been to in the world. I remember one of the things that stood out to me was that I was told that it was considered immodest to dance in public, which, like, I don't like dance that often, but when you tell me that I can't do it, I think about that, and then I want to dance. And I thought it was very like, oh, so like Footloose? It was very strange to me, to be in a place where like dancing can get you fined. Public dancing can get you fined. And I thought, huh, that's an interesting way to think about dancing. Becca says I had to step away to call my dad. Hope your dad's doing okay, Becca. We're making a Emrakul, a creature from Magic the Gathering. Jeremy's got my back there. I love you too, Maya. Ramina Juarez says, bruh. I know, right? Alright, let's see. We're gonna get some other colors up here. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I always find that, like, as I get this far into something, I start to doubt it, if that makes sense. Like, I start to feel like, I might have done this wrong. It might not communicate exactly what it's supposed to be. But I think the people that know Emrakul will probably recognize it. Will probably be like, oh yeah, that's Emrakul. But maybe not. A lot of it's just so uncertain. Silhouette type stuff. Colors and textures to the best of my ability, you know, that kind of thing. Let's use the dark gray for a little bit right here. And then we'll use that blue. Dark gray again. It's really more of a blue, but there's a lot of these texture lines. And we got a little bit of tan in there too. Yeah, at a certain point, you just got to kind of trust that your highlights are going to do their job. Yes, Hank is at the studio today. Yeah, Misty, if you're able to travel, you ought to. You know, especially when you're young. Because, well, I feel like people have either, at least people that I know who have traveled, they have either two strategies. They either A, decide to wait until they're older and can comfortably afford it, and then they go travel all at once later on in life when they're able to, you know, sort of retire and do that. Or B, you do it when you're young and you can afford it better because you're not quite so concerned with doing it in perfect comfort and luxury. You know, like you'll stay in a hostel instead of a fancy hotel. And I personally vibe with the doing it when you're young, because personally, I think it's probably easier to make money after you've seen some of the world. Yeah, I understand that. I hope that you'll be able to travel someday. Hey, welcome back. Hank's back in the room. You got a picture for me? You gonna email it to the Pancake Studio so I can pull it up on this here tablet? You know what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, Hank? How's it going in there? This elaborate freaking pancake. Well, you know, like Cthulhu, it's kind of like that. It's like that in Magic the Gathering. Sort of a entity that's super not here to help. It's not necessarily here to hurt either. It's just like extremely powerful and completely disinterested in mortal affairs. And also, it's here. So that's not great news. You know? You're not supposed to be able to. Well, because like the idea behind like these, like, so just like H.P. Lovecraft stuff, like the idea is that this that you can see is just, like, they're actually a four-dimensional entity. And so this is only like the equivalent of their pinky finger. Right? So, and it looks insane, but kind of like biblical angels, you know? How like the way they describe them, it's like, right, have no fear. And you're like, kind of hard not to.
How you're shown it in the church.
Uh-huh.
Hey, John. I know you.
A couple of these extra tentacles around here. Okay. Let's see if I can make this a nice round. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Oh, cool. Misty, you checked out Hannah Gadsby. I'm really glad to hear that. I think she is wonderful. She's a fantastic comedian, and that's, you know, you asked something that inspires me a little earlier. I think Hannah Gadsby inspires me a lot, because she has, she's a very, she's very successful. Her special Nanette is so surreal because it was like, she sounded like she literally was like, I'm gonna quit comedy after this. And it skyrocketed her to international acclaim. It's just funny how the world works like that sometimes, you know? I think that she has a very powerful creative voice and is using it to say some important things, you know? About mental illness, about autism, feminism. Right here, I'm kind of trying to emulate a bit of the background on this piece. I don't really know how it'll look. I think it'll be okay. I think it's kind of going to give it like this sense of scale and motion. But we'll see. Bobby in the shop. Welcome to the chat, my friend. How's your day been so far? So far, it's been pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good about this design. It's very elaborate. It's a creature from Magic the Gathering. Extra-dimensional, godlike entity called Emrakul. Very elaborate design. I haven't done anything quite like this before. But I'm pretty excited about seeing how it looks on the flip, because I think it'll be very interesting. And after this, Hank suggested that I do a Harry Styles portrait. So y'all that have watched the show more than once probably have seen that portraits can take me a little bit longer, so that might be my only 2 pancakes, because these two are both pretty elaborate. But, you know, we can keep hanging out, chatting and stuff. I think part of the reason I like eldritch horror and I like Eldrazi and the concept of, oh man, I can feel a cool Dan rant coming on, 4-dimensional entities that you can't quite perceive with your eyes and ears, is because they make you think about things in terms of 4 dimensions, right? So we know about 3 dimensions, we know about 3-dimensional space, there's length, width, depth, but when you get to the 4th and 5th dimensions, usually you see people talking about space and time. Often, that's just one dimension called space-time. It's a, physics concept. Because time and space can't really be separated as easily as we think they can. But when you think about things in terms of a 4th dimension, you can make the argument that human beings are 4-dimensional creatures, because we do exist in time, right? We don't perceive in time quite like we do in space, right? Like I can in the 3rd dimension, I can see, see a lot of things around me. I can perceive things in a certain way. 4th dimension, we're not super accurate at predicting the future or even remembering the past that well. But that doesn't mean that we don't exist in 4 dimensions. And so you could almost imagine yourself as a human being. If you were able to perceive of your 4-dimensional body, in a visual analogy, it would look like if have you ever played solitaire on a PC? and beaten the game of solitaire and the card bounces around and it drags frames of itself behind it, you would be kind of like that. Every moment of your life would be a slice of your four-dimensional body. But if you were able to move through the fourth dimension and perceive in the fourth dimension, then it would be quite as easy as just selecting a phase of your life and going and checking that out. And you would be able to see all those phases simultaneously and understand them simultaneously. Obviously, we did not evolve to do that. Our brains can't think that we don't perceive like that. But it's cool that through creativity and through symbolism, we can talk about and imagine entities that could do that. And that's what these eldritch entities usually, that's what they are, you know? They're these massively powerful four-dimensional beings that can travel through time and space because they can perceive time and space. And I think that they're, you know, it's besides just being interesting and fun. Oh, you're back. What's up, Ben?
That's great. Do you have a transportation?
I should be able to get a ride home. I appreciate it, though.
Take it on.
Godspeed.
Step over here and wait. Okay.
Hey, there. Okay, cool. All right. Later, man. Misty asks, Dan, how'd you come up with the name Joy of Pancakes? It's a reference to Bob Ross, Joy of Painting. I really, really love the Joy of Painting. I think it's a beautiful, creative feat. You know, that Bob Ross. It's very simple. It's a very simple show. If you don't know what the Joy of Painting is, it's a very famous public access television show that a man named Bob Ross did for something like 20 years, where he would go into this dark studio and he would teach people how to paint beautiful landscapes. And he was a really fantastic teacher, and he made people feel like they could do it, that they didn't have to be extremely talented, they didn't have to go to art school, that like most people are artists, and the world teaches them that they're not artists. And so Bob was like, well, I'm going to try and teach people that they are artists again. And it was very relaxing, very quiet, and he had a very soothing voice, and it was like, it was sort of proto-ASMR, right? Like because they would zoom in on the sound effects of his brush hitting the canvas, and he had a very soft-spoken demeanor, and he was very encouraging and kind, and so he became very famous for that. And years ago, back when I was still working at the diner, right as the pancake art thing started to become sort of a path for me, I had this idea that I wanted to do something very similar with pancakes. I wanted to teach people how to do pancake art and be as accommodating and kind and soft-spoken and all that stuff as I could. And so we started a YouTube series called The Joy of Pancakes, very intentionally an homage to Bob Ross. And after a couple of weeks, I mean, we've got a couple 100,000 followers on YouTube, but the algorithm has really changed over the years. And so those followers don't mean a lot to us anymore. Well, it's not that our followers don't mean a lot to me. It's that mathematically the algorithm and the YouTube platform does not care. It does not care to show our content to the people who subscribe to us because we don't pay for it, or we don't have the money to pay for it, or we've had a hit and miss engagement over the years, whatever the reason. And so I was taking all this time to edit these videos, these Bob Ross style, The Joy of Pancakes videos. I think I did 8 of them. And then we were all getting burnt out because we're only a few people. We don't have any funding for real. We're a private business. We're doing our best to make ends meet, and it's the middle of a pandemic. So we were all getting very stressed out with the lack of events, the lack of income, and just how much work I was putting into these videos to post them and then only get 300 or 400 views and very few comments. It was very disheartening. And so we decided, let's try live streaming them. Because at the very least, when you live stream it, you don't have to edit it. You don't have to edit the video. Like literally, we have a cycling camera set, and I can change the camera angles while I make it, and so we tried that. And after 1 or 2 of those, I realized that I am in love with this format. I love this dearly. The fact that I can look up at that screen and I can see all these people with comments. I can see Misty, I can see John, I can see Leslie. I see y'all leaving comments and talking to me. And it's real time, so I don't have to sit in a dark room and edit this video before I can interact with y'all. I can do it while I make the pancake. And then I realized I can take suggestions for the pancakes. I can talk about philosophy. I don't have to do these in 20 minutes. I can have a 3-hour stream if I want to. Yeah, and I got to a point where I was like, it's grown and changed into its own thing. So it started out as this Bob Ross homage, but now it's its own thing. It's the Joy of Pancakes. It's a live stream series, and I love it. We're gonna cut to the overhead real quick because this pancake is ready to flip. This is Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn from Magic the Gathering. 3, 2, 1. What do you think about that, y'all? Let's go to the zoom. Take that photo. I'm gonna send that to my buddy Alex. He's the one who got me into magic. One moment. Neat. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. It looks a little bit, it's closer to the real thing than I expected, kind of. It's that weird, elaborate mixture of highlights and shading. I like that a lot. Okay. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thanks, everybody. Becca, John, Misty, Jeremy. And let me scroll back up. It looks like I missed... John asked, do you have any plans thought up yet for additions to your game? And yes, I absolutely do, John. My board game is... There's a lot of potential, I think, for... Oh, I think that might be Alex replying. I need to mute my phone. There's a lot of potential for expansions and stuff in the system that I designed. Excuse me. Let me check the email here. Hank sent me a Harry Styles image as selected by... Okay. This is what I'm going to be making next. And I suppose I need to go to the overhead camera here. Okay, it wants me to start recording this, so, boop. Oh, so many, oh, it's endless, I just dive in. Okay, let me pull that image back up. That's pretty funny. Okay. Thank you, RET. Cynthia, thank you. I'm glad that you I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I thought that was I'm pretty happy with that. That's that's one of my cleaner Joy of Pancakes pieces as far as like having a crazy reference and stuff. Actually, before I start this next piece, let me take a look and see what Alex said. Okay. Harry Styles. So let's see. We're gonna need the reds and pinks for, well, it's not necessarily red, more of a sort of salmon red there. Cinnabar. I started the recording already. I haven't started drawing yet. Thanks for asking me to. What did I say that was funny, Misty? Oh, was it the, oh yeah, the dive into the, I'm a goofball, is fact. Is a true fact. Let's see. Got all my various flesh tones over here, arranged. Here's the Emrakul.
on the tackle. You did pretty good.
Happy with it. Okay, we got a couple of blues on his shirt there. A lot of browns and sandy colors. Okay. Time to draw Harry Hiles. Let me take a sip of my kombucha here. Oops.
Your audio.
You're gonna ruin my audio?
You just hit your audio.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Harry Styles. You already mirrored this?
It's mirrored.
Cool. It begins. Start on his handsome little eyeballs. Is this gonna make Gina my best friend?
Make a lot of 20-something-year-old girls your best friend. Let's face it, 20-something-year-old guys do.
Will it make Harry Styles my best friend?
Possibly. I mean, Billie Eilish saw hers.
You pass me the...
Johnny Orlando saw hers. What?
Yes, the Q-tips. I may need those. Thank you, sir. Just a bag. Because I will
You
fail
clean
a
your
lot.
ears?
Yeah, I got clean my ear balls. What were you gonna say, Hank?
Just saying, like Billie Eilish saw hers, Johnny Orlando for sure saw his.
Who's to say he won't see it?
Remember when you were in New York and that he was there? It's like the last thing going on.
Yeah.
It was at an outside concert with tons of people for good meeting here.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy. Awesome.
Series of events.
Crazy fun.
Excuse me. That is not... That's a little better. It's very subtle.
No, I'm gonna use this even just a second to Q-tips so people use Q-tips.
That's right. I always like to include that in the time lapses I do. Show people that I am not perfect. I really appreciate you saying that, Misty. That's very kind. The swoops, the hair swoops.
People born.
It's not fire.
Not asked, is it actually pancake mix you're using?
Yes, all the colors that we have here, these are all colored pancake batters. So we use a just add water. Videos.
See you, John. He's getting the sleep done.
Really?
Show me on Christmas.
Do you know what color Harry Styles' eyes are, Hank?
I'm sure that's a Googleable.
Why don't you know that?
Freestyled. Oh. Green. That's always like when you don't know it's green or something.
Yeah. Todd, so do you have heat on at all times, or do you just heat it up when you're done? That's a great question, Todd. I am a little bit different. Dana and Ben, our other full-time artists here. Misty's asking, how are you, Hank? You doing good?
Good. I'm good.
Hank's doing good. What's wrong?
You are recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
I pulled it open on the tablet. Okay, let me
Oh,
check.
blinking red. Oh yeah, that's right. I was remembering. You're good.
Okay, all right, we're good. Just making sure I'm recording the Harry Styles painting.
Where's Misty from, man?
India. Megami Pro? Megami. Is that the Megami I know here in St. Louis? Because if so, what's up? It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in...
Just interesting on that face.
I hope it is.
I don't know what it is.
That'll be really nice. I did not finish answering my question to Todd there. Yeah, Todd. So, sorry about that. I generally draw, when I start a design, I like there to be a little bit of residual heat. That's the phrase I use, residual heat, like just some leftover heat from the last made. Mostly because when I do these really fine lines on the eyes and stuff, I like having a little bit of heat there just so that it will set the lines. So they'll turn solid so they don't blend and... Oh, my little spider buddy's over here now on my spatula. There you go.
Say what's up.
Get out of here. Go collect somebody else's taxes. So I'll do the residual heat thing. But when we teach people to do pancake art for the very first time, when you're learning it, we usually tell folks, try it with the griddle off. Because if you draw with the griddle off, you'll have a lot more freedom, a lot more time to get your design the way you want it to before you move on to, fill in all that stuff. And that way you don't have that extra pressure, that mental pressure of like, oh gosh, I gotta go fast. So yeah, right now the griddle is like, you can see I set my hand there. It's hot enough, it started to hurt for a second, but it's not like extreme sudden burning. Trying to kind of build this. Yesterday Ben was trying to say my name so hard. It's hard for all of you to pronounce. That's what Misty okay. Marumita? You introduced yourself to me as Misty, so that's why I've been saying that. But, I mean, honestly, if you'd prefer me to use a more accurate pronunciation of your name, I think I'm capable of that. If I said that wrong, you can correct me. Marumita Moda? Marumita is the more important pronunciation, right? Oh, Kevin. What would we do without you? This is going to be a tricky one because he's got his hand on his face, and so I don't want to. Excuse me. I guess he's got green eyes, so I'm gonna need to. Jeez, a bunch of water came out of that. Okay. Hand boy. Who's the answer? Okay, cool. That's good to know, Misty. So it is written, so it shall be. Okay, stupid question, but who eats the pancakes when you're done? That's not a stupid question. But yeah, here I'm gonna cut to the wide here for a second. See all the pancakes on the wall behind me? Those are all preserved pancake art pieces. So we do we preserve many of these pancake art pieces, especially the ones that we take really, really long time on, or the ones that we know a lot of people will be really into. Hank's actually the one. You can step on camera for a second if you want to. Hank is the one that goes over in our workshop and actually does the work of extracting the moisture with a freeze dryer and then preserving the pieces. You want to pull one off the wall or show it off to the kind? Show the folks at home. Yeah, I do like that one a lot.
This is, yeah, I hand cut the frame stadium. Pancakes are freeze dried. Luckily, pancakes are, I learned over trial and error, they don't have to take as long to freeze dry like most foods. So, literally like 5 hours. And then you take the dry pancake, you paint Mod Podge on it a couple times to seal it.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about they can't hear you through my mic. Yeah, he's gonna go put on a mic real quick so he can holler at y'all.
Trying to project.
But yeah, a piece like this is first freeze dried. So the ones you see him making here, the same process will happen. I'll freeze dry them. They'll come out. I'll coat them in Mod Podge, which is basically like an epoxy that seals it. Seals it clear, doesn't ruin it, actually makes it a little prettier. If there's any breaks, it can fix any breaks. I can piece stuff together, which happens with pancakes. And then I measure the pancake. Usually ones like this, I keep the frame the same size so it looks good. But certain pieces, I'll have to measure and cut the frame accordingly, and then I'll just stain it based on what the client wants or the theme of the pancake. I've got about 9 different colors, kind of like our palette we sell. And yeah, take a picture and throw it up, or ship it off. We just shipped one off today to a YouTuber out of Saudi Arabia, a very, like an over 1 million follower YouTuber. And he said that, yeah, I got a couple videos, Misty, of me sealing the pancakes. I did one of Frozen and I did one of Chadwick Boseman. But yeah, this YouTuber, they're gonna hang it in their studio because they do like blog videos with his brother. So that's being sent out today. And actually a couple big TikTokers, we've sent it, and they posted videos about it. So that's pretty cool. And every time that happens, I get more inbox requests for permanent pancakes, which is dope because we don't want to throw these away or eat them. I definitely don't want to eat them. I'm good on eating every pancake we make. I want to tell Dan something interesting, and maybe people will think it's interesting. So we got reached out to Pancakes for here in St. Louis. There is a massive trail they've been building called the Greenway Trail. Just follows like different areas of St. Louis, and they connected them all so you could walk like 30 miles if you want, or bike around the whole county.
Right over there, right?
Yeah, it's right behind my house, and it goes to the Mississippi River if you take that. But they reached out like, hey, we want to do a promotion for this since the project's finally done, because it was like several years of doing it. And they asked, what do you think you could make? And they have all these landmarks on certain parts of the trail. And the idea is we're gonna make the landmarks in pancakes and then go film us eating it at the landmark on the trail. Yeah. So then they're gonna use it on their website. But it's cool because it's like, all right, make the pancake, then go out and do some filming out on the trail and get paid to do it. So I like the idea. It's definitely a new idea. Thank you. I've done a great job making this. Thank you. My passion, I do like building stuff. And I almost get sad when there's not stuff to build, which is why I've expanded on the studio twice. I mean, we needed it. But I foresee, with or without, if we expand into a different building at some point, here's hoping this pandemic blows over for everybody and we can get back on track. But I might put a second story on this eventually. Or the whole hangout area is the second story. And or a satellite pancake art room. Yeah, Wella, it's a watermelon sugar man. I heard that song for the first time. I don't remember, I might have been in line at the DMV or something, outside, and they had a speaker, and I was like, oh, all right, it's very catchy. And I could see, it's one of those things that happens where it's stuck in your head. I'm not exactly saying it's an amazing song, but it's definitely stuck in my head. I see it in your face there. I mean, that's his face.
Like such an awkwardly difficult medium to do really well.
90% success rate, something. Oh, it's been stuck on the wide. Yeah, sorry. On that cycle through when you do it. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, when you flip this, I want to do just a quick reaction shot of both of us. Well, like you flip it, and I want to stage like us both looking down, like ooh, at the griddle. So I brought the stick in. I mean, TikTok, you gotta have some kind of goofiness. Misty says it's going awesome. Oh, what I was gonna say was, so we partnered with HBO Max to make a horror movie character because they got a bunch of horror movies on there. So if you guys follow us on any of the social medias, well, Instagram and TikTok, for example, be really awesome if you could go and comment on which character you guys think we should make. Because there's 5 choices. I know which one I want Dan to make, because not only will it be an awesome pancake and content, but it will be an awesome preserved pancake. But there's like 5 choices. Also, the video is goofy, so if you guys want to see us in Halloween masks and fog choking us out from a fog machine, go watch it. So yeah, hop over on the Instagram or the TikTok and comment on it. That would be awesome. I have seen Hereditary. Very brutal. I do like Midsommar more. Same director. I didn't like how Hereditary basically like, oh, if you didn't know what happened, here's it explained like you're a baby. That's never, it's always like, come on guys. It feels a little pretentious from the director, like, hey guys, this might have been above you. So here's the explanation. And everyone, like I know when I was in the theater seeing it, there's a lot of sighs like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm probably some people like, oh. Yeah, it is very brutal. Midsummer's even more brutal. But it's like culty brutal. Also, my family's Swedish, so like, it's a whole like summer solstice in Sweden event.
Y'all do the same thing?
Yeah, we try at my dad's property.
Is that why you started a company with me?
Right, I'm eventually gonna invite you and give you. I gotta call him, answer. Annihilation. What is Annihilation? Oh, I did not see that. Yeah, I was going to see that one. No, it's a really good. It's not even a. I guess yeah, zombie movie's a horror movie, but it's not like a zombie movie. It's Last Train to Busan, a Korean. That is like it's based, you know, around a train station and stopped. It's very well done. And your voice is not coming through. Is that true? Yeah, you're not on.
I am on. Maybe it got changed. Maybe I. Yeah, I'm on.
I don't like when switches this. Okay, let me switch this. I got it.
No, just switch. When we were setting up yesterday, there were two that were on the same. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, but I know last time. Okay, there we go. We're on separate. That was my bad. I can't watch horror films.
Rub that tongue.
I got like a weird knot right here.
You want me to kiss it?
Becca said, I can't watch horror films. I'm too much of a wimp. Instead, I obsessively read plot summaries on Wikipedia and can tell you what happens in Hereditary and Midsommar, but I'll never watch them. That's fair. I will, if you can't stomach it, don't do it. I know that I saw people walk out in the theater during a brutal scene in Midsommar, so.
Okay, we're gonna start some of this hair. Ready, Hank?
Cool, I'm gonna do this little swoop shot here. That's probably better over the shoulder here.
Ready?
Yep. So one thing we learned in recent months is TikTok style videos perform a lot better nowadays. Lazy content, as they say.
And they're so much easier to make.
Right. I'm not mad that I don't have to sit at a computer and edit. Not that it's
For
super
days.
hard, but it's
It's
definitely
not-
like when we started changing the editing of overhead, you had to like.
Soul crushing to have that much work go into something and it underperform, whereas you do this and it's like, it's just kind of like.
It's kind of just like, oh, not you weren't. It wasn't like we were fighting like doing that. It was just more like we didn't realize it, and then we did.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the justification of high quality cameras is streaming them for us and being paid to do events with them.
Yeah.
So if my freaking cell phone makes better content,
Yeah. May as well use it,
at
right?
least from the internet's point of view, yeah. Why not? It's funny, I have no problem with blood and gore. I've been in many surgery rooms in my time, but I hate jump scares. Oh yeah. Never play horror games. Because that is what they do, especially in like Silent Hills and Resident Evils. Faint when I see. Oh, Phoenix, what's up, man? He was watching my stream the other day. Me and Lee playing Call of Duty.
Excited about playing with y'all.
Yeah. Well, and then again, my logic was I was playing it already when I streamed it.
Yeah.
What is my favorite horror movie? The Conjuring.
That's a very good one.
The
claps. Is that
Yeah.
Conjuring? That's Conjuring, right?
Snap. Oh yeah, you're right. It is a clap.
Yeah, the closet.
And they come out of the darkness.
Oh,
Well,
that's the first real good scare in that movie.
and then there's the entity on the dress. The wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like it scans the room and you just see it crop like Gollum up there, and like everyone in the theater was like, oh.
Not a fan.
We have done Game of Thrones themed Dan cakes, Stacy. We actually have 2 videos. One a little earlier in Dan's art style, and one more recent. So if you Google, or if you're on Facebook, yeah, just Google Game of Thrones Dan cakes, you'll see it. HBO
did really
actually
well.
used clips. Actually, we made 3 of them. Yeah, and the most recent you did was 3 characters.
Oh yeah.
And we did it with Glasses, really
Yeah.
cool electronic artist. So it has a combo of him doing the theme in his style and Dan making the pancakes. Yeah, James Wan, he has some good horror movies. I don't like Conjuring 2 though, believe it or not. I love Cabin in the Woods. Yeah,
That's
actually
classic. We actually watched that pretty recently.
Yeah, we were in my hot tub. I repurposed, and we had a little Pancakes night where we played some video games and in the hot tub and watched Cabin in the Woods on a projector.
Pretty awesome.
Did anyone answer who eats the pancakes question? We'll definitely watch Game of Thrones. Yeah. Again.
Our point is that most of these get preserved.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
What's?
Did Jeremy throw that up there? The YouTube video?
Probably.
Nice. Cool. See? Beautiful. There's the Game of Thrones link.
Oh, yeah, cool. My brain kind of glazes past it because I see the link and I think, oh, that's pretzel. But no. Hold on.
Good old pretzel. Dana would be so mad if I didn't get it.
I hope this ends up looking like this guy.
Yeah. I hope so too. Cabin in the Woods is awesome. That's awesome they get preserved. Can you mail them to people? Yeah, that's the point. Anything on the wall behind Dan, as you see in the top right corner, left corner, is for sale. And if you don't see something you want, you can pay us to make it. All it takes is emailing me. And if Jeremy's on there, dude, just throw hank@dancakes.com. That's my email. And I can discuss it. It's all based on what the photo you want. You know, some people, actually someone last week wants the Millennium Falcon for a Christmas gift. And they sent me a really weird photo of it top down, which is not what I envisioned the Millennium Falcon. I was like, does this photo work better? It was like a more angled, looks like it. A little more simplified, honestly. They were like, oh yeah, that's way better. Someone just asked for Studio Ghibli's Kiki's delivery service.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Kiki and Tamba sitting at the beach. She looks disinterested and he has love in his eyes looking at her.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kiki.
Someone just asked me for their wedding photo because it's their 10th anniversary.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. So yeah, anything you want. Someone just asked me for a full family portrait, which I you know, that's a little more pricey because there's like 6 people.
It's a little more challenging.
Right. So it's, again, based, I don't like to throw prices out on streams.
Because you never know.
Right, because I don't want to promise something. I want to look at it and give you an honest quote.
Well, and then also if there's something that you like on this stream that we're making now, you can actually reach out and sort of reserve that piece if you want. We will sell, you know, anything we're working on generally, we will be willing to give you the first dibs if you see it on stream and like it.
Beating on my studio.
Howl's house from Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, we can totally do that. And can you say hi to my teacher, Miss Iverson? Hi, Miss Iverson. How are you? Thanks for checking out the stream with Mango Crunch. Ariana Bourne, nice. Yeah, Becca, I think Cabin in the Woods is definitely one of those ones that I would recommend to people.
Yeah, it's obviously got some horror elements, but it's got some goofier elements.
It's got good comic relief and great, you know, dialogue.
Right. And if you're a fan of Chris Hemsworth, he's in it. I think right when he was playing Thor, the first Stranger Things Pancakes. So we have done a video. We actually were in Pittsburgh at a festival and did a video. It's actually really one of our more interestingly shot videos because it's
Yeah, it was surreal.
it's like a circus troupe. They were riding like steampunk steampunk-esque.
Uh-huh.
Big bicycles. And I recorded that. We were at a steel mill, abandoned steel mill. So we were,
Working for Thrival.
yeah, a really interesting concert. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they put it on. But
It was mismanaged.
a really weird. I mean, or Googering or whatever we did. Like chaotic.
Uh-huh.
Moses was with us there, so our friend Moses. We had Saki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good trip.
But as far as Stranger Things, like preserved, I'm gonna do that at some point, maybe when the 4th season comes out. Yeah, there you go. Thrown up there in the video. Our Stranger Things video got thrown up there. Many people would love to give a lot of money to eat this hairstyle, especially that is strings. Well, maybe they can hang it on their wall. I mean, there's definitely been hairstyles made. Actually, the last event I was at was college NACA event, and a friend of ours, Michael Breach, who does coffee art, that's news barista art. Him and Ben were making hairstyles back to back on coffee and pancakes, and the crowd was pretty big. That was cheap.
That's cute.
It's like him in those colorful pants, the body one.
Okay. I'm gonna border this. You wanna film it?
I'm gonna go from here. Maybe do the middle of the
I'm gonna start right here. Ready?
no, on video. On photo, no on video.
3, 2, 1. Okay, let me take a look at the chat here. Music reminds me of Minecraft for some reason. Yeah, it's probably, we use Pretzel, which is like a service that does music, royalty-free music for live streaming. And they have like different genre stations. We always pick the ambient station so that it's, you know, it's relaxing. We really try and lean into the relaxing angle because that way, you know, it's fun to just put the stream on and chill. It's not quite so much about watching me headshot noobs on Call of Duty or whatever. Let's see.
Phoenix went over to Twitch.
Awesome. Jeremy, you're a nerd.
You're down. Huh.
Dad jokes. Are the consistencies different, says For Paradise over on YouTube? No, we generally mix one big batch of plain batter at the start of the day, at the start of a session or whatever. Setting up the tripod, cool. We mix a big batch of plain batter at the start of a session, and then we will pour that batter into these individual bottles and add drops of color to each. But we really try to get one consistency throughout so that it works the same. We will, however, sometimes have different aperture widths on our bottle tips. You know, we have like finer points on certain bottles. Like for instance, this bottle here. Here, let me go to the overhead. This bottle has a much wider tip than this bottle does. We usually use this for fill and stuff, but I know Ben actually varies the tips of his bottles on the drawings he does. I usually don't do that too much for Joy of Pancake streams and stuff, unless I'm doing some like crazy ambitious thing. I'm not gonna vary it that much.
Hey, Phoenix, did you ever download Call? It was like 150, 60.
It's almost time, Hank. You ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna film you flipping it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna film a reaction.
Do you want me to flip it to you, or should I just flip
No,
it? Oh yeah, we're recording, so.
Well, I'm gonna you flipping properly.
Okay. I'll give you a countdown. Still gotta carve it. Okay. All right, you ready? Here we go.
Sam, recording.
3, 2, 1.
Nice. That's him, dude.
Cool.
That's him. What do you guys think? That's him. The outside light shading looks great.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with how that turned out.
It looks photo-esque. It's like if you put a filter on a photo.
Take myself a photograph real quick.
So precious. Look at them puppy dog eyes.
I'll send that to Dana and Gina real quick.
All right, let's
See what they say.
I mean, if anyone's gonna be critics, be those
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out.
I am too.
It's awesome. So what do we do now?
So basically, I'm just gonna hit record, and we're both gonna look down and look at each other and go,
All right.
like, this dude.
All right.
Good.
All right. Go to the wide here so other people can enjoy our tick. You'll get a second angle here.
So, like, wave me over, and we both will look down at it.
So I'll be like,
Yeah. and
should I
then
look at you or should I be looking at it?
Look at it, and then look at me and go, and I'll come over, and we'll both look down and look at each other and go, "Damn," you know?
Okay. Just.
Yeah.
All right. So I look at it. I look at you. Be like, okay, I got it. You ready? Is that going?
Yeah.
Okay. Hands.
You do. There it is, guys. The goofiness of TikTok.
All right.
You'll see that at some point this week on TikTok and Instagram. So
Yeah.
say you saw it happen in real time.
Yeah. And that'll be on the wall at some point.
That will be available. Such silly points.
Let's see, what time is it? 2:55. Let's do one more. What do y'all say? What do y'all say? We do one more pancake. That didn't take me as long as I thought it would. Sip some thing. Yeah, we are. We're very goofy. What do y'all want to see me make? Give me some prompts. Give me some suggestions, some directions here. We got on the one side of the spectrum we got Emrakul, and on the other side we got Harry Styles. What are you gonna?
Which one's the
What's-
pop
who's-
music
who's-
star?
That would be this one. I don't know. How many tentacles does Harry Styles have?
I heard 6.
That's not enough. Emrakul's got way more.
They only go
Dungeons and
one
Dragons. Cool. Give me a monster. Give me a monster that I can look up. We'll do a monthly monster.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
I
hit
need to
record
stop
again.
this.
Just hit record again.
Yeah, let me.
Cool.
Beautiful. Gina said, "Ah, my boy looks so yummy. That's so good." Let's see. Howl's Castle, a geode, something scary for Halloween, rocks, crystals, shiny, succulent garden, Owlbear's always a classic, Howl's Messy Room, Baba Yaga. Holy cow. I just do all of them simultaneously. Actually, I think Howl's Castle would be a really good one. That's not D&D, but Howl's Castle would, probably have all the colors I would need to do it really well.
Howl's Castle.
Let's see if I can find a really good image where I can see the whole thing.
Alright guys, we gotta go back and hop on my computer, so love you all.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up Howl's Castle over here. I like that idea a lot. Howl's Castle. Images. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna switch to overhead now so y'all can see what I'm looking up. There's a lot of images of it.
There's that one where it's nighttime. I might be wrong. First one.
There's one where it's flying. I could do when it's flying.
Well, I'm thinking of when it's...
Yeah, look at that. Ah, jeez. I wish that it would just open the image for me.
Right, you have to...
Open a new window. That's not what I meant to do. I don't know how to iPod. Get out of here.
This is the one I was thinking.
Oh my gosh, what happened here? Why are there... How do I get rid of this? I just want one. Just give me one window. Okay.
This is what I was...
It at night? Climbing up the hill?
Yeah.
Hmm.
A little more blue.
Well is asking, do we have a set brand font?
Yes.
Sure.
It's
We use Impact on a lot of shit.
Well, House Slant is what Ben used on the website. It's the one they used on.
What is it?
House Slant.
House Slant.
Yeah, it used to be on Adobe, but then it wasn't, but it's still available. House Slant. No, we don't use Impact.
Okay.
Then the more fancy ones. Canva.
All right. I think I'll do one of these front angles here. As long as I get its chicken legs, that should be all right. God. I gotta find a high resolution version. Go up here and go to tools, size, large. Frustrated I can't just open these images in. Is that really the best I can do? Like, come on, man. Give me something with less pixelation. That would be so freaking cool. If we could just have, like, a high-resolution image of them. I want to do it justice. There we go. Okay. That's what I wanted. Alright, I got it figured out. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I love the coloration too. This is going to be fun. Okay. All right. All right. All right. That took me long enough. Oy. Let's see. Black. Got some nice white highlights. Some salmons and some purples, and ugh, this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Yeah, this is gonna be super fun. Can y'all tell how excited I am? Okay. It's awesome. Harry Styles quality. All right. Is there a way in Google Photos to quickly mirror it? Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, cool. I got it mirrored. That way, it's more accurate. Okay. I'm gonna start on one of these Canon eyeball things it's got going on. A lot of detail on this one. This might take me a little while. It's probably gonna take me longer than Harry Styles did. It's interesting how the castle has a face, you know. Calcifer. Yeah, Calcifer's a really good one. Calcifer would have taken a lot less time to draw as well. He's a very, very simple little design. Excuse me. Got the kombucha burps. Okay. little more heat in this griddle here so we can set those lines a little bit faster. Kind of hear the griddle groaning as the heat distorts it a little bit. Castle's got very big, I'm just happy to be here energy. You know, I'm just happy to be here. I think most people who saw Howl's Moving Castle were just a little bit in love with Howl. Sophie certainly was. Ha ha ha. It's such a beautiful movie. Thanks to Wella here in the chat, I got the chance to sit and watch almost all the Miyazaki Studio Ghibli films pretty recently. So I'd only seen a couple of them, and even then I'd only seen them like years ago, and quarantine started. Wella sent me and Hannah a retrospective, like a DVD box set of all of them, and we Skyped each other and through over the course of a few weeks and watched 12 or something like that. Porco Rosso, Howl's Moving Castle, Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. Miyazaki is such an inspiring, creative vision. He's an example of a person who, I think, really takes the art of storytelling super seriously. It shows in all the stuff he works on. And as a result, his work will go down in history as some of the best, I think, just in general. It's hard not to fall in love with what he makes. A lot of detail lines on here that I'm not even touching yet. Nausicaa is fantastic. I had never seen it before. It's Hank loves Miyazaki movies. And when I told him we were watching them, he was excited. He was like, oh, cool, that's awesome. Nausicaa is really good. It was better. I mean, I had no idea about it. I had really no context for it. And so when we watched it, I was just kind of blown away. I really appreciate his ability to balance, or Miyazaki's ability in his worlds to balance some of the most dark and bleak and frightening things with truly inspiring and hopeful narratives of, you know, perseverance and grace and growth. growing and changing and learning through your experiences. And this one's gonna take a while. I'm barely even done with his face. It's very playful, the design of this castle. It's very whimsical and just kind of like, let's throw some stuff on it. Let's throw some other stuff on it. Very insect-like in a lot of ways. And it's got chicken legs. Kind of makes me think about a Townscaper. Has anybody heard of that? It's this cute little artsy video game where there's no real point. You just kind of design classical appearing towns. It's very cute. I see people tweeting about it a lot. Like the buildings on here, feels like they were just kind of slapped on there. Excuse me. What? Will it taste different? Inevitably, it will taste a little different, mostly because of the cooking process. When you make pancakes in classical pancakes, you usually want your batter to be real thick so that those pancakes will be fluffy and they'll rise. Whereas when you're making pancake batter for pancake art, you want it to be very, not like watery, but you do want it to be pretty thin, because it's really important that those that the lines, the batter can move out of these fine apertured tips and lays flat where you put it, that you have control over it. It will taste a little different than your average pancake, but it won't, the color doesn't make it taste different. The color is the same thing they put in cupcake icing, so you only need a couple of drops for each color. You need these really rich, beautiful colors out of it. And yeah. So it still tastes like a pancake, it's just the texture. The texture more than anything else is what changes a little bit because of the way that it's thin, and there can be like inconsistencies in the texture because we'll put lines down and then they'll sit there for a while. And so these first lines might be a little bit crispier than the final fill. So, especially when we do live events and the griddle's on the entire time, because while you will see me turn the griddle on and off here and there, at live events we usually leave the thing on the whole time, just because we have to. And as a result, the pancakes can be a little bit crispier, which I think I've heard a lot of people say they like it that way. They're like, this is my favorite kind of pancake. This is how I like them being made. Nobody ever makes them that way. And I'm like, well, we kind of have to, so came to the right place. almost to the top here. A lot of line work on this bad boy. Almost ran out of room up here. I think this is going to be a good piece, but I think that if I mixed my batter and focused on just doing this piece today, I probably would have been able to do it even better. I probably would have made it a little bit bigger. I probably would have switched out my bottle aperture to be a little bit finer, because I think I could probably get almost 100% of these details if I really, really, really tried. And I'm just kind of flowing through it right now, because I know that with the thickness of my batter and the equipment I'm using at the moment, it's just limited, right? Like I may not be able to get exactly what I want. But yeah, this is the art style of Studio Ghibli. Lends itself quite well to the medium of pancake batter, just anime in general, because it's lots of rich, flat color areas with very specific, definite shading and that sort of thing. It lends itself well to the medium. Goofy wing.
Walking one day when I happened upon an
Straighten that out a little bit. Cook those lines a little bit.
He was sitting on a bench, staring into the distance as if it were endless. I smiled politely as I passed, but his voice rasped behind me. A voice like his hand.
What is your favorite food and drink? Good question.
So sharp with wisdom and concern.
Biscuits and gravy. My wife, my wonderful wife, every now and then, on weekends,
It was a question.
she will wake me up with some homemade, from scratch biscuits
He asked.
and some scrambled eggs and some homemade gravy. And it is, every single time, it makes me happy to be alive.
His deep-set eyes were
It's a very heavy breakfast food, but that's That's kind of what American breakfast is famous for. It's being a little bit extra. And perhaps because I spent so long in a diner as a fry cook, American breakfast food has sort of very much grown on me. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I know it's not very healthy. I don't know, it's really not smart to start the day with American breakfast food because it's very heavy. It can cause brain fog. You know, a lot of times it's not smart to have breakfast in the morning at all. It's actually better for you to wait until lunchtime and eat a decent-sized meal then. But, you know, it also tastes amazing. And so, I really, 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 really love American breakfast. Let me take a look at, I'm going to pull my phone over here and take a look at the feet here. Alexandra asks, do you have a favorite tattoo, Dan? I see a few in your arm. This long piece, this is a sleeve. It goes up to my shoulder. It's in the process. This is the one that the only one that I've actually like really given a lot of thought to. So I am excited to get this one finished. Where's your feet? Where's your feet? There's the little chicken feet. I just want to kind of see how, okay. Excuse me. It's kind of like a... And we got a leg here. And I think there's probably one over here, but that's... and am I missing anything on the right side? No, I don't think so. I think we can just kind of set these lines. There's a couple of ropes and scaffolds and things like that, like little lines that I haven't quite articulated over here. Little things like that. And there's a ton of details. And when I say details, I mean like tiny little, I won't be drawing all of them, but texture lines that sort of communicate the sort of wooden patchwork nature of this creature. Try and do as many of those as I can. The trick is to make them very fine, very gesture-like. Make them too thick. They don't really communicate what you're trying to. And you want to make sure you do it pretty evenly, because if you miss spots, you can make the spots you don't miss look weird. Like if I don't put this all over this creature's, the castle's sort of face here, then it's a very real possibility that it would look like I just gave it a mustache when it has no such thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to get every single spot. I just really want to get enough of it to sort of communicate the age, the raggedy nature of it. You know, it's this old thing, this contraption. Blemishes, that's what you're doing. You're doing blemishes. Come on, man. It's not even coming out. Okay. Set those. Now we've got a couple of different color choices to make here. First off, I'm going to do the highlights. A dragon and Pegasus on your back, Alexander. Sleeves on both your arms, just finished your arms a few months ago. Wow, that sounds really cool. It sounds like an elaborate piece. A very meaningful tattoo when the right time will come. Yeah. It is nice to get tattoos with a lot of personal meaning. I think it helps. It helps actually make the decision to go and do it. You know, when you have a sort of a purpose, like I'm gonna commemorate a thing. Do some highlights, lights coming off the side over there. Looks like I'm gonna have to do some of that similar stippling with the highlight as well. I just feel like it's been a pretty good stream. I'm really, really happy with the first two pancakes I made. And I have a good feeling about this one. It's just a really solid reference request, you know? A lot of little highlights. I will say the hardest part is done. I think the hardest part is the line work here. Because once the line work's done, it's kind of like, okay, we can move a little bit faster. We can kind of use those lines as guides and knock out a lot of this stuff with a little bit more speed. Not a race, but it is nice to be able to move at a good clip. You know, you don't want to miss any spots. Try and get as many of them as you can. Excuse me. Kombucha burps. I'm a burping boy. There goes half our audience. Yeah, that makes sense, Alexandra. Sounds like an appropriate price for a gigantic piece like that. Let's see. It's almost a pink. A lot of warm colors. The other side of this critter. Seems like there's a lot of orange hidden in this creature. Maya, you don't gotta be active all the time, my friend. We appreciate you all the time. And, Misty, yeah. Totally understand. It's pretty late where you are, so nobody feel obligated to. I'm always here for you. And you follow me on Instagram, so you'll probably see these posted to my personal Insta at some point. I think I missed a couple spots in here with the white. Dan, got a favorite movie or TV show? My favorite movie is called Scotland, PA. It's it is an adaptation of the famous Shakespearean play Macbeth, which, if you don't know, is a play about a king's subject being convinced to betray him to try and take the throne by witches who tell him a prophecy and by his wife who convinces him to be more ambitious. And it's tragic because, you know, he ends up ruining his entire life and being killed, and his wife dies, and it's about guilt and ambition and prophecy and all these things. But Scotland PA puts a really fun twist on that story archetype, because instead of it being about a Scottish king being killed by his subject, it's about the owner of a fast food joint being killed by a fry cook, which I've been a fry cook, which I think is part of the reason that I love the film so much, that I'm like, it speaks to me. But it's very, very clever. It's very funny. It stars Christopher Walken is in it. He plays Macduff. Maura Tierney is in it. She plays Lady Macbeth. And it's just got a fantastic sense of humor that I really, really appreciate. And all these roofs. Roofs. This is hard for my brain to process. Kind of looking at it like, what am I doing here? I wish I had better color for that. That's a little off. It's more of a, it's like a grayish. I'll just keep doing the shading on the big feller first. My colors might not be perfect for this, but I think they'll be pretty close. We'll be okay. One of the things that I've learned is that perfection is a false ideal. You'll hear me talk about that sometimes on the stream. And with things like this, it's not necessarily smart to try and make things perfect. And it's better to make them done, right? Not perfect, but done. Has Been a Hotel, that's a pretty good recommendation. It's a very popular piece. Oh, that probably should have been a darker one, huh? Oh well. That's okay. Chaos. Sky blue batter would be in the, yeah, probably going to do something like that in the background. That's a good point, Becca. I don't know how much batter I have. It's not so much a time thing as it is the batter itself. But we'll see. We'll see if this ends up coming together as nicely as I hope it will. It's going to be a little chaotic in there. I definitely didn't color in the lines as clearly and as closely as I could have, but I think it's going to end up looking okay either way. Very strange. A little surreal, maybe. I'm actually going to refill this a little bit. One second. Let's see if I can emulate this background just a little bit. I like to do sections on the outlines. So like towards the bottom, I'm going to do these whites, and then I'm going to kind of try and do a gradient up to the top into blue and then darker gray Slightly darker gray. 2. It's okay for it to be a little messy, I find, you know. Almost all the way up. And at the very top, I'll do this. Oil. See how that works. See how that ends up looking. Start cooking that through. Kind of a big piece. I'm making a castle, my friend. I'm making Howl's moving castle. Outline those little chicken legs so that they don't flake off when I go to do the flip. It's a big piece. I think this is going to be really nice. And again, if y'all are interested in any of these pieces, if you want to purchase one of these pieces, these will be preserved, mounted on the wall like the pieces that you can see on the wall behind me. Let me cut to the wide here for that. I guess my hotkeys aren't working anymore. Oh well. Not sure what the deal is there, but c'est la vie. I'll flip to the white here in a moment. This is going to need to cook for a little while. Big piece. Shore up any structural weaknesses here. All right. Howl's moving castle. I hope it works well. I hope it ends up being dope. Second, let me see. There. Okay. Yeah. So I can do my spiel. I'll go back and change it here in a second. But basically, all these beautiful pieces. These are all preserved pancake art pieces. We extract the moisture with a freeze dryer, and then we Mod Podge them, seal them, sink them into resin, mount them. So any of the pancake pieces that you see us make, whether it's online, on our time-lapse videos that we post to our social media, or the stuff you see on the stream, or the stuff you see on our Sunday stream, or you can just reach out and have us make a piece for you that's completely custom. But all of these, almost all of them, we will preserve them and then sell them. And so if you want one of these pieces, please shoot an email to hank@dancakes.com, and you can reserve the piece, basically. You know, if you speak for it now, you can have it. And we'll work it out with you. These are the other two pieces that I made on the stream. This is Emrakul, an Eldrazi abomination from the game Magic the Gathering. And this is Harry Styles, being stylish and hairy. There he is. We'll show these on the, once I flip this pancake, and we'll do another roundup where I show it on the overhead and all that stuff. Right now, I really wish, what happened here? I don't know. My Bluetooth keyboard isn't responding anymore, so I gotta come over here. I gotta come all the way over to the laptop. And we love you too, Maya. Thank you so much. This is gonna be Howl's Moving Castle. I used this. This is the reference image that I used. I've got an iPad here with a big old image. I tried to match the colors as well as I could. I tried to get as many of the details as I could. There's certain limitations with pancake batter. It's just how it is. But you know, them's the breaks, kid. Roberto asks, have you ever done a drawing of a castle with like a pencil? I don't think I have. I don't know if I don't do much pencil art. Most of my time and energy goes into doing references, pancake art reference. Like I use reference images while I do pancakes, but I don't sketch things out very often. Very, 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 very occasionally. In certain special circumstances, I will. Like a couple months back, I was on television. I was on Good Morning America with Dana, and we ended up making the hosts' faces, but we had to do it live. So the night before, I took a pencil and my notebook and sketched a bunch of their faces out just so that I would have a better, I wouldn't be going in completely blind. But that's a special case because it's like this gigantic high-profile thing. More often than not, I just kind of look at what's in front of me and do my best. And try not to be too hard on myself for not being great. As we always say at Dan Cakes, that mistakes are delicious because it absolves us of our shame. And we don't have to worry so much about being perfect. Because if it's awful, if I mess it up completely, there's no reason I have to preserve this pancake. I can just stick it on a plate and consume. But lately, most of the pieces are to my liking. I'm getting a lot of practice since we've been doing these 3 or 4 times a week live streams. This is about ready. So I'm gonna go to the go back to the overhead. All right, you ready, everybody? Howl's Moving Castle. 3, 2, 1. It's big. It's a big piece. What do you think, y'all? An interesting day. Scooch. I need you to be close to the watermark there so I can get a nice photo. Awesome. 3 very nice pancakes today. All right. So usually this is going to be the end of the stream here. I'm going to have to clean out my bottles and everything. But what we do is I take the griddle and I move it so that I can get the other 2 pancakes I made and we can put them all in the overhead and y'all can see them all at the same time. Hey, Hank. Can you grab me a tray? A tray. Can you grab a tray for me? This piece is not gonna fit very well on a plate, so. Well. Yeah, I'm gonna plate it anyway. Hold on a second. No, I do not. Thanks doing TikTok stuff.
So I can take the flip and record it correctly.
Uh-huh. It's a good day. Oh, and I will open up this and turn the recording off real quick. Don't worry, y'all. Roundup is coming here in just a second. Wild. Try to do it like that. There we go. And there you go, y'all. That's the Joy of Pancakes for you. Got some wax paper. Beautiful. Huh? Yeah, and we got 2 really nice time-lapse videos. foot. I'll put. And very stuck. This is what we do: is we put them on wax paper like this. So I've got them all stacked. These are going to go into a freezer, and then we will put after they've frozen. We will then freeze dry them, and then we do the actual preservation process. So Hank brought this tray in for me, so we can have all those pieces there. And yeah, I think that'll be probably the end of the stream. Again, if you want to speak for any of these pieces, shoot an email to hank@dancakes.com, and we will. Did you send that?
No, I'm waiting to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Once you're done.
You got your mic?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then and we'll work it out with y'all.
Yeah, and if you guys, since this is ending, if you could hop over again, we got this HBO thing. Just go over and comment on what character in the video. It's a goofy video we did for HBO, and Dan's going to be making a horror movie character from it. So I'm going to throw the link to our Instagram in the chat. Just go over there and comment on which of the movie characters we should make. And later this week we'll be making that.
Yeah.
But
will you press Alt-2 for me? Press Alt.
Alt-2, okay. I thought you meant.
You got to hold Alt to do the. There we go. There's the wide.
So
you
yeah,
can talk
go
with
over,
people if you want to.
Yeah, go over to Instagram, comment on that video, watch the video. It's goofy, but yeah.
And yeah, otherwise we do the Joy of Pancakes stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Or well, we might be moving the Friday one around, trying to find earlier time. Still trying to do it at least 3 times a week. And then Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time, we do a live request stream where you can get anything you want. We usually make between 20 and 30 pancakes on that stream, so you can drop in the chat, leave us a comment, get your favorite character, get a photo of your dog, anything. And then otherwise, just keep Dancakes in mind for all of your pancake art needs. And remember, mistakes are delicious. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh, that's great freaking...